Hey, so I'm still doing that stuff I was talking about in probably my video where I explained my rationale for supers, and I'm just doing more and more of that data collection. Right here, I'm being more thorough about it, and I'm recording supers used in matches and burnout occurrences in matches, not including ones that are just made for kill combos. So the value that it's got, the value or the detriment of putting yourself in burnout / putting the opponent in burnout, etc. I'm recording that. That's more inconsistent. Some of them very low value, some of them particularly good value, etc. all over the place. It's interesting to watch these players because it's very clear to see, when I'm going through it like this, recording exactly how they spend and save their supers and such, and how much value they get out of their supers, relatively speaking. It is very interesting to see the level of like some players. For instance, where's fucking NL? Do versus NL. Now, NL was very successful in the match, but in all the games, but he was mainly successful as a result of all of his decision-making and gameplay outside of his super management. But all of his... Okay, so, like, looking at this, not including this burnout shit, NL used level 1 in first round to put Do on Sliver of Health with an enormous lead. He was in burnout, so he had to convert into a super to get decent damage off of that conversion. It was crouch, strong, stand, short, super. And he wins round shortly afterwards. Great value for the use of a single level 1. Now, the reason why he was in burnout was he burned himself out on an EXDP to keep the corner when Do did Fireball Drive Rush behind it, and he DP'd the Drive Rush behind the Fireball. So, I agree with that for the corner position and the lead that he increased through doing that, but then he was left in a situation where he had to spend supers, so one or the other. In general, I agree with that decision making and consider both actions to be valuable. Do, in the second round, used level 3 literally perfectly. He did heavy kick, and he built the level 3 off the heavy kick. He was in burnout against the DI. He built it on that, and it was CA version, and it was the exact damage he needed to kill in a round that he should have lost. So that is like the most perfect instance of level 3 usage possible. Then NL got his level 3, and he just held on to it for long enough and through enough interactions that he would have built another 1.8 bars of super if he wasn't already full. And then he lost the game without spending any of that super. So effectively, he wasted 4.8 bars of super. So I also put that as massive waste. Some players, I noticed that they just hold on to their super for either a level 3 for the kill, or just, like, they have, like, so few instances that they're willing to spend super on, that they just wind up never spending their super. They die with super. They win off of conversions that they didn't need to spend their super to do anyways. Like, they spend a level 3, but they really could have killed without any super on the hit that got the kill, etc. Huge waste. Do use level 1 for extra damage on a crouch medium kick whiff punish. I was, like, kind of questionable about this, because he could have just gotten heavy flash kick, and he would have still been in a great position. But, I think that was for a final. I forgot to put the round part here, but I'm assuming that was a final round. And then he won with a surplus of 1.7 bars he did not spend. So, I don't know. Let's see. So, I think NL... It's interesting to watch the NL matches because I think NL had, like, overall bad super management, but overall fantastic burnout management. He was one of the best at, like, knowing exactly when to burn himself out and use the value of self-burnout at its most optimal points to keep on the pressure, get significant leads in places where he was very unlikely to lose or fail, etc. And then he had a great sense of playing wall and burnout because it was part of his game plan. So anytime Do would try to do, like, I don't know, drive rush knee or anything, he would get level 1'd, and NL would just recover the burnout anyways and get all of his meter back. So he was incredible at managing resource drive gauge and burnout, but like he constantly did this where he would hold on to a level 3 and just lose shitloads of super on nothing. Okay, next happened. NL holds level 3, kills with full bar. That means what? So he held level 3. Usually I record more detail than that. Okay, Do dies with 2.4 meter wasted. The point where I record these up until the last moment that they would have been allowed to play. So, like, if you go to the end of the match, Do technically had more than 2.4 bars of super when he died because he got hit by, you know, the final combo that killed him. But I don't include that because, you know, he would obviously can't use the super that he builds on the combo that ends him. So I did consider all those factors and stuff. Then, okay, NL uses level 1 to beat a fireball in mid-screen almost at round start. He evens out the life lead. I think he had gotten like an anti-art or something beforehand. He doesn't get like Oki from this or anything. I don't really, logically, I don't really see a fantastic value in doing this, because like the immediate next interaction, because he doesn't get Oki from this or really anything meaningful to get off of, and then his next interaction is, instead of just beating the fireball with level 1, he just jumps the fireball, gets anti-aired by Guile stand medium kick, and then just predicts that Guile will press a slower button or try to go in, and then he just instantly lands with a crouch strong counter hit drive rush, and like just bulldogs his way in. So like, I don't see this as like the value that he got out of that relative to like how easily he was able to get around the fireballs anyways and such, and that he only just got like a bit of damage and no other substantial winning of neutral or anything from it, or very small corner push. I don't know how good of a usage level 1 to beat fireballs is when you're just doing it at the start of it. But then again, you do get like full damage of a level 1, so there is that, which could be good. It's good. I should turn it to good value probably just because it is a level 1. I started having to like make sure that when I thought about that, one thing I didn't do that I probably should have done going through these is put next to value, just put exactly how many super bars it cost. And I always put it over here, but it could be good for context's sake to say this is how much value was gotten out of how much super was spent, because that's the important part. NL uses level 2 for kill. Point, massive lead. Yeah, so yeah, he just did that. He had a huge lead, but he used the super to kill anyways. If he didn't have that super and had spent it on something else, maybe, I don't know. He wins with a 0.3 surplus, so no super wasted, unused. Do lost with 2.2 supers he never used. Huge waste. Then, what's next? NL used level 1 to beat Drive Rush while burnt out, putting himself on burnout. Puts Do on a sliver of health. First round, huge lead, wins round. Great value. Do holds on to level 3 for 0.27 bars of super generation. Slight waste for that. He uses level 3 to pause NL's burnout recovery. Vital round. He was at a huge deficit, but he had to win. He got some value out of that. In going and analyzing these things and looking at these things, I've started to notice that Guile gets like shit value for his, relatively speaking, of the amount of value that other characters get for their supers. obviously the ones with crazy installs like Blanca and such are the ones that are consistently getting the most insane value per number of super gauges spent. But Guile's, I am convinced. I don't play Guile or anything, but I am absolutely fucking convinced after doing some. I've been like working on this for days and stuff, but literally just today I've been working on this for the past 5 hours straight. Analyzing, recording data, etc. So I am convinced, after all the work and thought that I put into this and stuff, that Guile players are shamefully underutilizing his level 2. I think that no matter what, I understand it's not the strongest install compared to some of the other ones, but I am certain that, because every single install in the game is so fucking good at getting amount of value relative to gauge spent. And I cannot see Guile's as an exception to that. I've been complaining that Jamie players haven't used his level 2 enough, and, but I do think, yeah, all the level 2, all the installs are inherently fantastic and can be used in ways that are incredibly effective. I am certain of that. 100% certain. Okay, so yes, he wins with a surplus of 1. Do whatever. Then we had, okay, Fudo versus Mena with his Blanca and Luke and such. Let's see. So for supers, he used EX Sobot, Drive Rush EX Sobot into level 2 to kill. Great value for that. That's something he can only really do with that particular setup and a level 2. Mena used level 2, got a shitload of value out of it, burnt Fudo out from 3 bars of drive gauge, switched the corner, got out of the corner, put Fudo in the corner, made up a huge deficit of life, and got a DI once he was burnt out into a combo into his doll set play in the corner. So, outrageous amount of value for a level 2, for just 2 bars of super. Other characters are getting, like, I don't know, a bit of damage tacked on, a little extra corner carry in one combo for a level 1 or a level 2. The installs, when you actually look at what you're getting out of it, it's not even fucking close to a normal super. I honestly think that in 90% of circumstances, there's no justification for using level 3 with JP. The sheer fucking value in almost all circumstances that he gets off of his Lavushka is just insane. That he gets and can get. Fudo did this a lot. Well, Fudo, how much did Fudo do this? Yeah, Fudo holds on to level 3 a lot too. I mean, he uses all of his supers, but... So yeah, Fudo holds on to his level 3 for long enough that he would have built 1.11 supers. More. Waste. He uses level 3 for the kill. He was burnt out. He was below 50%. It was the final round. He definitely needed the super in that circumstance. He needed the level 3 there. Mena used level 2 with Blanca for extra corner carry. Set play, he got several throws in a row. Then he also burnt him out from 3 bars of drive gauge with block pressure and stun and stuff. Enormous value again compared to any other character and how much value they get per bar of super. Ridiculous. Let's see, then what happened? Fudo used level 3 on the very hit that he got it, but didn't scrimp on the combo damage either. Had a massive life lead, restored green in his drive gauge. Very great value. I don't put those as like massive value because it is a level 3 and it costs... Level 3s, obviously they cost 3 bars, but the other thing is that no matter what, they inherently put you at 0 super, obviously. So, like, you can use a level 1, and it costs a bar of super, but it also doesn't completely defang you of your any tools that you need to have at least 1 bar of super to use. Mena uses level 1 on Wake Up, gets burnt out and dies, and he had, after that level, in addition to that level 1, he had 1.5 more supers left. So he had 2.5 supers he was sitting on before this wake-up level 1 that he died from, that he could have used on like a lightning beast or something. So this is what I've been doing. This is what I've been analyzing, seeing the super value that people are getting out of it, where they're wasting, where they're holding on to level 3s for a ridiculously long time and losing tons of super, where they're winning or losing, especially losing, without using all their super gauges, etc. And these are the things that are reinforcing my theory of the case that I am now heavily considering and looking into about bird in hand style super usage, about using your supers on clear hits when you can get value from them to maximize, to try to avoid, because the things that people do, like the reason why all this waste is here everywhere is because some of the waste is just, accidental. They used a super in what made sense was a good place, but they still lost the round, so they still wasted that super. But in a lot of these instances, a lot of the waste is from people just not using their supers because they're waiting for an even better opportunity. And the places where people are using supers, I don't even necessarily agree that they're that worthwhile in a lot of these instances, especially with the level 3s. I think that the actual value, a lot of characters, this is the important part, a lot of characters, their level 3s do not give them Oki. So even if they get even if they burn the opponent out or restore 2 bars of their own drive gauge or something, they still have to spend one of those 2 bars of drive gauge they recovered just to drive rush towards them to get a meaty, right? So you're not even building back that much drive gauge if you want to maintain your offense, and players are just good enough at defending themselves well in burnout that it doesn't necessarily help most of the time, or half of the time, or I don't know. That's why I'm recording these things. Is it half the time? Is it less or more than that? Whatever. When do you get value from burning the opponent out with your level 3, etc.? But yeah, I think that level 3's not giving Oki, and a lot of them not having very good corner carry either, is, and the fact that having a level 3 inherently means holding on to it. Often, very often, holding on to a level 3 means you're losing, like, half to a full bar of super that you could have built if you just used your super. And not using your supers means loss by holding on to a level 3, surplus by losing with having meter that you didn't spend, etc. And so I think that if we can structure and figure out how to get more value out of our supers while we're in the middle of a match or earlier in a match or something, or while we get clean hits and we have the ability to get clear, tangible value, bird in hand value for our supers, I feel like we can trim down a lot of this accidental waste. Like, okay, these are the super usages here for Dual Kevin versus Safe. Small waste. Huge waste. Holding on to a level 3 so long you missed out on 2 bars of super you could have built. Huge value. Uses level 3 to get a big lead and escape the corner and recover his own burnout because he was burnt out, so he had to use level 3 to do that, to defend himself. And the level 3 also burnt out Safe, and then he won the round shortly after that through chip damage from neutral with burnout. So perfect usage there, etc. for a level 3. Safe uses a level 3 early on in the round, gets a lead, whatever, it's fine. Good to great value. I'll actually lower that to good because I don't really believe in the value of round start level 3s and such that much. Safe wins with 2 supers he didn't spend, waste. Kevin loses with 2.5 supers he never used, huge waste, etc. These are where the wastes are coming in. Kevin holds on to a level 3, wastes 1.77 bars he could have built. Safe holds on to level 3, wastes 1.43 bars he could have built, dies without spending any of his meter. Massive waste. Lost 4.43 supers. equivalent to 0 value because he never used them. So, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm doing. The frequency of waste. If we just look at these things, right? Frequency of value of supers versus frequency of waste. Okay, Chris Wong and Phenom do this a ton as well. Phenom especially, I think, also has like quite poor super management because he's also a player that just waits until he has level 3 and then waits for a place he feels good about to use it. So, in their first game, Phenom just spent no supers, built a level 3, and then held on to it for the full fucking thing. And then... And he lost a full level 3 he could have built if he just used his level 3 earlier. Chris, almost the same. 2.69 supers lost. Etc. Chris hold level 3, 0.18. Phenom holds level 3, 1.34 loss. Plus dies with level 3, so 4.34 effectively wasted. Chris wins with 2.2 he never spent. Phenom holds level 3, another bar of super lost, etc. So, what's the frequency of super usages of significant value to super usages of waste? Huge waste, huge waste. Good value. No real waste here. And then come down to here. Great value, some waste, enormous waste, small value, huge, like large waste. What is this? I forgot to put this in. Some waste. Okay, large waste, some waste, massive value, huge value, large waste. Very small waste. Phenom used level 2 in a combo to burn out. Vital round, huge deficit to make up, near corner, massive value from burnout in post. DCQ versus Gachikun, small value, huge value. Both of these characters are characters with ridiculous level 2s, so we're going to notice some more value. Huge value. Small waste, large waste. Huge value, massive value, no waste, huge waste, big value, big waste, because DCQ held on to his super... See, this is what I mean. Like, if you're JP, when you're playing for level 2s, you're consistently getting fantastic value from your effective super usage. When you're holding on to your level 3, you die and waste 4.79 bars of super you could have used on something. Big waste, massive waste. Gachikun does the same thing this round. They just both never used a super and they both fucking died. DCQ won this one. Gachikun is the one that actually died with 4.47 wasted. This was, yeah, just a 1.7 loss. DCQ did use his super. Right, I misread that. But yes, huge value. Then we come down to here. No waste. Or very small waste. Some value, very small waste, large value, no waste, no waste. So the one with the least waste and the most value per supers used is the one with the characters with the ridiculous, stupid-ass level 2s. It's also funny to see which matches have like a shitload of burnouts and which matches do not have burnouts. Like these motherfuckers burning... Okay, Kawano versus Nephew. There's so many burnouts during the matches. But, right, anyway, so that's what I'm working on right now. I've been working on this, like I said, for the last 5 hours today. And I will be, keeping this going. A lot of matches to get through, and this is very slow work.